confused between your marketing and sales activities? Do you feel that the demarcation between what is marketing and what is sales is a bit blurred for you? Do not worry, because this confusion is not only for you. This is a confusion that many entrepreneurs face in their business. And as a result of this, they are not focusing on the task and the things which is going to actually bring in the revenue and results for them. And that's why they are unnecessarily burning themselves out by working on stuff that is not moving them forward in their business. But I want you to save from doing that. Stay tuned in today's episode because I'm going to, in a step-by-step manner, break down that what are the things that you should be focusing on in your business. Fall in love with selling as you acquire the right mindset, selling style, and sales process that helps you take your business solution to more prospects, potential clients, and the world at large. If you are a women entrepreneur who is looking to get more sales, scale, and sustainability in your business, you have reached the right place. I'm Roshni Baronia, your host for the show Ace the Sales, which is all about helping you bring your authentic and influential self to each sales conversation. Hello there. I'm so happy that you have joined me today in this episode. And today we are discussing a very important topic which is going to be an eye-opener for you. But before we get there, I just wanted to share with you a recent experience of mine. I was there at the Global Success-Driven Solopreneur Summit, which had 30 speakers from all over the world speaking on various topics of their expertise and sharing their values and trainings for solopreneurs and women entrepreneurs from all across the world so that they can advance in their business. And I am so honored and privileged to have been a speaker at this summit. I was speaking on the topic of how to negotiate when you are selling services with value-based pricing. Now, this is a very common problem and an issue with a lot of entrepreneurs that when they go out there to sell their value-based products or or services and which probably are premium services also, they are not able to get the right price for themselves because they are not able to negotiate properly. And in this training, I had shared the tactical, emotional, and rational approach of negotiating while selling premium and value-based services. So this was a great experience for me to be at this summit wherein I was able to connect with so many eminent speakers and develop a one-to-one relationship with them, connect with them on a personal level, and even found opportunities to collaborate. And there were more than 700 people attending the summit, and it was an amazing experience to be connected with so many amazing entrepreneurs who are doing great work. So yeah, that was just an experience that I wanted to share with you guys. And before we move further, I also wanted to just remind you to leave a review for this podcast and how you found this episode. Maybe an aha moment or a takeaway or an insight that you gained from this episode on Apple iTunes. There is a very interesting giveaway that I am giving to the reviewers of this podcast this month. I have 10 Amazon gift cards that I am giving away to the people who are leaving their reviews on Apple iTunes or on the link provided in the show notes. Guys, I put a lot of efforts and love in creating this episode, and I will be extremely encouraged and motivated to bring in more value for you if you are able to show your love to me by sending in those reviews. So just take a few moments to leave in your comment. So now, without further ado, let's dive in today's episode. So today, as I mentioned earlier, that we are discussing and understanding sales and marketing in more depth. We are understanding what exactly we need to focus on in our business so that we are able to get more specific results and outcomes of whatever work that we are doing. And let me begin with clearly defining for you what marketing and sales in your business as a solopreneur run business looks for you. What we can understand as a difference between both the things are broadly in three areas. The first is you can understand marketing as the space where you are attracting new people to your business. It is what I call client attraction, where people are getting to know you. They are getting to know about your products and services, what you can do for them, what is it that you are offer, and they are quietly observing you kind of a thing. They are just moving into your circle of influence. As against this, client acquisition, which is the sales part, this is where they are moving from circle of influence to actually taking action towards working with you. So this is the place where they are actually signing that dotted line, signing the check for you and making that payment into buying your products or services. So while client attraction is bringing in the people, client acquisition is converting them into paying clients. The second aspect where you can understand the difference between these two things is the activities, the kind of activities you do in these domains. In client attraction, you will find yourself doing activities like social media, content marketing, or writing blogs, publishing podcasts like I do, or speaking gigs, or doing paid ads. So it is predominantly all about putting yourself in front of new audience so that new people can see you, know about you, and it's like filling in the top of your funnel. As against this, the client acquisition looks like the activities that you do in client acquisition is like having those sales conversations with people who are interested in working with you. So this is when you are having your sales calls or discovery calls, if you are a coach, or you are sending out personalized emails to prospects who have asked for quotations or proposals, or you are giving demos in case you are some person who is selling tech products or creative services to corporates or trainers, that kind of a stuff. So predominantly client attraction is all the creating buzz for your work, and client acquisition is when you are actually talking to your prospect about fulfilling their need. And lastly, the third difference which you can clearly have in place to understand the difference between client attraction and client acquisition is that client attraction, that is marketing, is always one to many, and client acquisition, which is sales, is always one to one. So you can imagine it as when you are standing on a stage and you are talking to a crowd of people, fill in auditorium, and there are thousands and thousands of people. This is a marketing that you are doing one to many. As against this, when you are having a call, a sales call with a prospect or a client, and you are specifically discussing her need, specifically discussing what is it that she wants, what she is looking for, and how is it that you are able to fulfill that need. So there is a huge difference between client attraction and client acquisition. They both are very important aspects of your entire sales engine. But please remember, you have to very clearly understand what part of your sales process, what part of your sales engine is actually putting money in your purse. And what you can clearly see right now, it is the client acquisition part. You have to be great at selling as an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, in order to put money in your purse. You have to have the ability and the competence to convert your leads into paying clients. So while there is a certain amount of efforts and dedication needed to bring in new people into your sales funnel, people generally, I have seen it with many entrepreneurs, that they lose out the fire. They are feeling so burnt out after doing so much of marketing work that they are not left with enough energy to convert those marketing leads into paying clients. And this is a huge mistake that people are doing, and they are leaving so much of money on the table because they are not focusing on how to convert those leads into paying clients. Let me give you another context which will give you further clarity on what you should be focusing on in your business. When I work with corporates and organizations with their sales teams, consulting them on their sales process and how they should be communicating with their prospects, there is one major difference that I see when I'm working with them as against when I'm working as a coach and a consultant with solopreneurs. So in organizations, there are sales teams. Now, these sales teams have a very specific role of reaching out to prospects and converting them into paying clients. And it is very clear for them that this is their job profile and this is their role. They also have a separate marketing department who is making all those marketing collaterals and the proposals, and they are helping the sales department in with feeding with all the requirements they have in enabling them to do their sales, so conduct those sales. So they are working in tandem with each other. But as a solopreneur, you are the only one who is managing all the things. There are so many things on your platter. You are wearing various different hats, and I know it gets very confusing and at the same time overwhelming for you to handle all the admin, operations, client servicing, marketing and sales and everything. And when there is so much to take care of, it becomes very important for you to be absolutely clear about what you need to focus on, what you are spending your time and efforts in. And that's why, to a certain extent, it is possible for a solopreneur or a small business owner to outsource certain parts of their marketing or the client attraction strategy. So whether it is hiring of a marketing agency or hiring of freelancers to outsource their graphics, copywriting, content, ad management, whatever it is, whatever as per their client attraction strategy is working out for them, it is still possible to outsource certain aspects of client attraction domain. But when it comes to client acquisition, you are the only person doing the selling. Because as a solopreneur, you are the person who is delivering your services to the end customer or the client. And that's why the client needs to talk to you. So from sales calls to making the demos to giving the presentations and having those one-to-one conversations with your prospect, it is you as the solopreneur who is only responsible to do. And that's why it becomes very important for you to focus on the tasks which come under client acquisition. And I cannot tell you how many entrepreneurs I see that they are burning themselves out in doing marketing, but they are left with no energy to actually convert those prospects and leads into paying clients, because they've not simply got the time for it, and they are not knowing what exactly they should be following and measuring in their client acquisition part as well. So while client attraction is so much more talked about, that many people know that these are the stuff that we need to do. But when it comes to client acquisition, there is not enough information and knowledge and awareness available to entrepreneurs. So this is my sole intention today, to help you give that clarity of the things that you should be focusing on. So now let's try to understand what comes under client attraction and what you need to be measuring there. When we are talking about client attraction, there are three things that you should be absolutely focused on. The first is your social media presence. Yes, whether you are a person who is selling your services online, or whether you are a person who is doing one-to-one selling offline through referral marketing, word of mouth marketing, or prospecting and cold calling and emailing, whatever it is for you, whether you have your business online or not, your presence should definitely be online. So social media is a great channel to create that presence for you. And that's why it is important to measure your social media stats and metrics as well. Now, when I say stats and metrics, do not be afraid. It is not something rocket science. It is very, very simple, and I have made even simpler for you by making a cheat sheet of all the leading indicators that you should be measuring in your business. These are 24 KPIs which are both for client attraction and client acquisition, and this cheat sheet is available freely for you to download, and the link is mentioned in the show notes. And along with the cheat sheet, I am also giving you an evaluator. Yes. Now, what this evaluator does for you is that it will very clearly help you understand what are the aspects that you are lagging in, and what are the aspects you need to focus on so that you can take your business to the next level. So this free cheat sheet and evaluator is available for you in the show notes. Do download it and share with me on Instagram as a DM as to how it helped you in gaining clarity in your business. So, moving on to the next aspect of client attraction which you should be focusing on, and that is branding. Yes, we've talked a lot about and we've heard a lot about personal branding and business branding these days, and it all stands true. Yes, in today's time, when due to pandemic and due to lockdown, one-to-one meetings and networking and events is all the more impossible for us to go to, personal branding becomes even more critical for individuals and solopreneurs. So again, as I said, it is immaterial whether you are selling your services online or not. Your presence should be on social media. Your presence should be as a brand, as an authority, as an expert on the digital space. So that comes under branding, and there are multiple activities that you can do under branding, from blogs, writing blogs, speaking, hosting podcasts like this, doing webinars, having a YouTube channel, or whatever it is, writing a book, authoring a book, whatever it is for you, whatever falls under your branding strategy, it can be there. But important is how you are measuring and how much you are allocating your efforts and time into it. And the third thing that you should definitely be measuring in your client attraction is your content. And by content, I not only mean the content creation part of it, but also the costs associated with it. Now, as a business owner, of course, you are taking in services and freelancers, hiring freelancers, or taking subscription fees from various tools. For example, there are so many video conferencing we are doing, or we are doing scheduling through Calendly or Acuity Scheduler. These all tools also have a cost, and as an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, you have to have a track of these costs as well. So while content creation has its own cost, content engagement and the cost of creating that content and managing it is also something which you should be measuring. So that comes under client attraction. Now, coming to the client acquisition part, and I know these are the things which a lot of entrepreneurs are not focusing on and they are not in the first place knowing. So, let me clear out these things for you. The first thing that you should be focusing on client acquisition are your opportunities. These opportunities are the leads, the prospects who are interested in working with you. That's first. And the second kind of opportunities you already have in your kitty is your existing clients. Never lose out on what your client need next from you. They might be needing some product or service which you have not yet designed, but they have a new need. Is it something which you can fulfill? But how do you know that? Have you been in conversation with them consistently? Are you following up with them on how they are doing on a regular basis? Do you have a system for that? So these are the kind of things that you need to focus and have a plan for when you are measuring and monitoring your opportunities. So this is a very important aspect of client acquisition. The second thing that you should absolutely be focusing on is your productivity in getting sales. And when I talk about productivity, it is the entire gamut of sales planning, sales process, need identification, and what you are doing on a daily basis to get sales. This is how many calls you are making, how many prospecting you are doing, how many proposals you sent out. So these are the kind of things that you should be working on a consistent basis. If you are not having those sales calls, if you are not having that one-to-one conversation, how are you going to convert people to clients? How you are going to convert your leads into paying clients? So it is very important for you to schedule time for your sales activities, which I know a lot of entrepreneurs are not doing because in the first place you do not have a system for it. So when I work with my clients, this is the first thing that I work with them. I give them a system so that they can work on a consistent basis on their sales activities. So productivity is a very important aspect of your client acquisition. And thirdly, the thing that you should absolutely be focusing on is your conversion. Now, don't get scared by this thing because it talks all about numbers. But here's the thing. If as an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, if you get fumbled with your numbers, you are in for a big mistake. So take care of the conversion rates, your funnel conversion rates in the client acquisition parts. But here I want to make a very important point. Please take care that you do not compare your conversion rates with anybody else, because for someone a conversion rate of 60% is very good, but for you, if you are selling premium products and services, a conversion rate of 20% is also good enough and it will help you reach your revenue goals. So do not be bothered but by what the industry standard say. I'm making a quote kind of a gesture here. Industry standards. Please do not be disheartened or disillusioned by them. Go by what your business says. Go by what your sales goals and plan says. Your conversion rate is only being measured by a benchmark and a yardstick that is for your business. Do not compare it with anybody else. There is no 100% and there is no good or bad conversion rate. It is only what stands good for your business. So summarizing for you here again, client attraction is consisting of three aspects that you should be measuring. This is the social media, the branding, and the content. And client acquisition are the three things that you should be measuring are opportunities, productivity, and conversion. I know this all thing might be very technical for you, but believe me, it is nothing rocket science. And once you get that cheat sheet, it will absolutely become super smooth like a butter for you. So just get that cheat sheet. And most amazing part is the scorecard. And I am available for you for a sales clarity call if you want to get an audit done for your scorecard. So this is a free 20-minute sales clarity call that I'm offering to you if you are downloading that cheat sheet. So I hope you learned something today. It was helpful for you to grow your business, to advance your business to the next level. Remember to leave a review and leave your insight from the episode on Apple iTunes. And before I sign off, I just wanted to let you know that in the next episode, I am in conversation with Jessica Hetherington, who is a sales and business coach, and we are talking about an amazing topic, which is about finding confidence in sales conversations. I know this is a big issue for so many women entrepreneurs who are not able to have confident conversations with their clients and prospects. And a big part of converting your leads into paying clients is to have confident conversations in sales. So do remember to subscribe to this podcast so that you do not miss out on our next episode, and stay tuned.